Hello and welcome back to OP Live Dallas. We're only getting started here. For information on the rest of the weekend as well as our future events, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. On Twitter, I think it's OP_live_Dallas.
That it is, and make sure to use that hashtag OPLive18. Make sure that you catch some funny faces we're maybe making if you get the opportunity to. I'd love to see that on Twitter for sure. And another shout out to Reaction AV for their amazing work on the stage as well as providing additional event technology. Also wanted to mention Playful Corp, who is a developer here out of Frisco, as we have mentioned, who've helped OP Live get off the ground for the event. And last but not least, GameStop, who is based out of Dallas. And so big shout out to them for helping out with the event and helping the community grow like this one.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. We're going to be getting into, this is our first semifinal, correct?
That it is, yes. So we are going to be getting over to UTA versus OU. And so we did get to see UTA on stream going up against...
Yeah, we saw them on stream multiple times playing against New Mexico State.
Yep.
So we're going to get to see them going up against Oklahoma, and this is going to be our first time seeing them on stream. So Texas, Arlington, and Oklahoma battling it out on stage for the right to go to the finals here. This one should be a fun one to watch. Our map pool this time, it is another best of three. It's going to be Nepal, Kings Row, and Hanamura. So almost the same. We're swapping out Junkertown. What do you think about the maps this time?
I personally prefer Kings Row a bit more over Junkertown, but that's just me. I think it's an oldie but a goodie. Everybody greatly appreciates Kings Row and the way that it is, the snowball kind of effect if you're able to take point A. But we'll get into that once we get into the second round. First, we're starting off here on Nepal. We'll see what the teams are going to roll out with in just a little bit of time. I'm very interested to seeing OU since we haven't seen any of them just yet. So they could definitely be pulling something out that we haven't seen at all in the tournament quite yet. But it'll be interesting for sure.
And we are going to be starting off on Shrine here. As hey, if you may remember, this is actually my favorite point on Nepal because of the way those stairs work. Before we saw Texas Arlington really loves running that GOATS comp. We'll see if maybe they want to come out with a similar strategy here, maybe try and change things up a little bit. And both teams making their way towards the point right now.
Rolling out with the Lucio, that has been a favorite pick, as well as with Moira for the supports to be able to keep the Taints healthy. We actually have a Doomfist here. We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, Neelis on the Doomfist, the first Doomfist pick on stream today. I sure hope it won't be the last, as he's one of my favorite heroes to watch. Poyito, though, in this guy on that Pharah, that's a really tough matchup for the Doomfist and the Hanzo, but Oklahoma University playing it perfectly, finding the first two kills there, a great charge on a Moon Cryptid. Texas Arlington going to get the disengage, but not before Wombologist finds two more kills, and that's going to be the first point cap going to Oklahoma.
Wombologist giving out a lesson in Wombo to the side of UT Arlington, so solid job for them to be able to take the point and start racking up a little bit percentage. Of course, we have Paul Cat on the Hanzo. It's gonna be a little bit hard to take out the fire from that sort of range unless he's using that storm arrow, but I can greatly appreciate the pit being able to break down shield.
Oh, but he does take down the Pharah. Palcatraz finding that early kill. Idikiri might want to use that res to bring up that extra damage, but it looks like Texas Arlington is just going to try and disengage, as there goes Tomato Lord. Cryptid going to get popped out of the mech and going to get taken down there. I'm surprised with how disciplined Oklahoma University has been playing that they didn't try and stagger that more.
No, I greatly appreciate them to be able to know what the limit is, not be overly aggressive. Yes, they ended up leading off the fight with the pits, but just knowing what your limits are, it's better to be safe rather than sorry, of course. And of course, just giving a little bit of a wave there. Dr. Ban gonna be Dr. Nice as he's just hanging back on the point. So we'll see what teams are gonna lead off as we are going to get ready for another fight. Percentage is ticking up, being extremely patient on the side of UT Arlington, but here we go.
Oh, Doomfist getting stunned. Tommy gonna take him down, but a huge shatter from Dr. Bainling. Poyito fighting back with a barrage. They still have the man advantage. They're up 2-1, but they lost Poyito. That's their main damage. Dez is going to find a kill onto Dr. Bainling, and Texas Arlington is just trying to keep this going. They're pushing their advantage further. They keep finding kills. Can they finish this fight off?
It seems that gonna take a Wumbo trip into the pillar as Doomfist is going to go up, and it comes down.
Oh man, takes down Dez immediately, and look at that! The effect that Doomfist has on a fight! Takes down McCree, takes down Ryan, defects the Diva, and just turns that fight right on its head. Takes it back for Oklahoma, and I think that should be the end of this first section.
Yeah, launching that grab from far distance, just trying to help out the team before they're able to make it back. Gonna pop the sound barrier as we see Hanzo is coming up from spawn, but it looks like it's all gonna be for naught. I believe OU is probably gonna wrap this up and secure 100% to 0 for OU to lead off on Nepal.
And you know, we talked about how the Doomfist hasn't been seen so far today on stream, and we see right there why that was so confusing. The impact Doomfist had. 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills, disrupting everything in such, I mean, it was like a 2v5 situation. Able to stall it out, able to turn it around, even able to find some kills in such a high pressure situation. And I think they're gonna have a lot of success with that pick. Definitely Arlington's gonna have to figure out how to game plan around it.
Yeah, we keep talking about momentum and whatnot as teams start finding their footing on the point and start having fights go more in their favor. Doomfist is one of those characters that the more momentum he has, the deadlier he becomes. He becomes somewhat of a pseudo tank with the more damage that he's doing and just racking up shields on himself, so he doesn't need that much healing or resources to be deadly. And of course, having a one punch kill on any DPS target that he comes across.
And here they go. It looks like we're going to see Arlington trying to take this close range positioning on the left side, but Oklahoma is sticking true to their game plan. They want to run with that Orisa, so they're going to play near the edges. They're going to force Arlington to play out in their zone, and Neil is coming through with a rocket punch onto Dez. The hook onto Tomato Lord there, unable to finish off the kill, but so much damage coming through, and now they're stuck in this tight room, playing against a Roadhog, playing against a Hanzo, playing against a Doomfist in this tight room. So much damage, but they're fighting back. They got 2 kills already. They keep going.
It looked like they were going to be in big trouble fighting in that small room versus the Doomfist, but they end up fighting their way back and taking them out. Here we go, leading off with the Dragon.
The Dragon Strike comes through, able to take down Dr. Bainley. Kitrin on the backside, using that Coalescence, keeping her team alive, keeping them in the fight, finding kills, and here comes the Doomfist. There goes kills. Wombologist on this Roadhog, finding the damage, and look at that.
Oh, that was a late kill onto Tomato Lord.
OU just finding ways to stay alive. Let that Doomfist be able to come back, and Roadhog able to finish off those kills.
Now that we've gotten into the semis for this event, we're starting to see bigger differential in terms of the rankings of the teams. OU coming in ranked about 3.9, almost 4K team, so that's going to be pretty close to a Grandmaster's level team, where in comparison UTA being a mid-diamond-ish team from what I can remember for that. So we're starting to see just the mechanics and the teamwork, the synergy come into play for all of that as they're leading off with the next fight, and they do have a bit of ultimates up.
But Oklahoma has to be careful to maintain their discipline, because I think the strategy is their real advantage. There's not much of a mechanical difference between 3.4K and 3.9K. It's really that discipline, that strategy that you were talking about, as Nihilist just goes nutso on this Doomfist. And I think they're really showing that their discipline is very strong.
It definitely is. Being able to just be extremely patient, understand that they have an Orisa barrier, which they can play far behind to...
Oh no, Tomato Lord and Moon Cryptid getting picked, both of them trying to rush to the point. Dez is going to be able to make it on that Reaper thanks to the Wraith form and the Lucio speed boost, but here comes Nihilist on the Doomfist. Every single time it looks like Arlington's going to have some momentum, Nihilist comes flying in, RKO out of nowhere, and Oklahoma going to take Nepal for a 1-0 lead in this best of 3.
Yeah, they were looking so strong. We got the opportunity to talk to OU right before the match begun, and they had mentioned the Doomfist. They mentioned to keep an eye out for that, and they're definitely showing up for that here on Nepal, as we have Wombologist going to be picking up the play of the game, so very much deserved, putting out tons of damage. I'm really interested to see, yep, that's exactly what I was wanting to know, is how much in the fight was he, but the Moira being in there 67%, and then Wumbo as well, also having 56 participation. That's so good for them to know how impactful they can be with the AoE, and then with the whole hog being able to break down the Rhine shield extremely quickly, having the AoE area of effect for that ultimate, and then also being able to pull people off into the abyss on that map. So we'll see what they end up swapping to as we proceed to the next map, but I'm hoping that UTA can actually fire back here.
I think those stats also speak to Oklahoma's focus calling and focus fire because, you know, especially after the nerfs, Roadhog really can't solo kill people anymore, and Moira as well, not really that good at solo killing. But the fact that both of them showing up with a high percentage of eliminations and kill participation shows that the team is really following through on those hooks, really following through on those like people that get low from the Moira orbs and get low from all of that poke damage. And I think if Oklahoma can keep that focus calling up, they can go even deeper into this tournament as we head towards Kings Row. What are you expecting out of both teams here?
Ooh, I would expect for them to set up on the higher ground. So as we kind of see towards the back of the point, there is going to be kind of the setup for the stairs that you can come up across. And then you could even go to more or less like the third level of the area so that you can have good vision of the point. Set up a sniper there, maybe set up behind an Orisa shield. Of course, you have to keep in mind where the team's going to be moving. But if you're going to run something like Goats and then be behind a big shield, then you're going to bait the teams into going onto you on the point. Basically have to jump down and then try to force a fight there. So even though the higher ground has its advantages, you have to keep in mind, well, when do we actually have to fight? When do we have to pull the trigger to not let them get any percentage? Do we give up a little bit of percentage, but win the fight overall? Maybe we can get pit. There's a lot of things that you have to consider on this, and it's really going to come down to strategy.
Yeah, so I agree with you 100%, and also I'd like to point out that Kings Row is one of the first maps where Doomfist really had a lot of success. In general, this map, you know, it was second map ever in Overwatch. Most people consider it to be the most polished. It's a staple of many tournaments, and I think it's a big advantage here for Oklahoma that they have this player that's comfortable in Doomfist, who's so much stronger on this map than he is on other maps.
Yeah, he really excels on that second point, being in the tight alleyways for the corridors as you're going to push the payload. Of course, not saying that the first point is bad for him, but then he gets even stronger considering that you're able to get that point A on the objective. So rolling out here, we will see both teams gonna be going for a more brawly type comp, trying to get a pick on them though.
Yeah, Oklahoma spotting out Arlington right away, who was trying to play in this close range spot, but look at that, Nihilist getting charged by Tomato Lord. Tomato Lord though, getting cut off from his team yet again, gonna go down, but it doesn't matter, they've already got the advantage they wanted. Dr. Bainley goes down, Mooncryptic gets knocked out of the mech, but Arlington is pushing Oklahoma back further and further. Palcatraz gets knocked out of the mech, and they keep finding damage. Nihilist though, is back in the fight. We've already seen the impact that a Doomfist can have. He comes in with a rocket punch. Can he find the kills that he's looking for though? It looks like he can't, but the Graviton comes out. That's so early from Wobologist. Here comes the Coalescence as well, and this is just a brawl. So many ults, so much damage coming out. I can't believe we haven't seen more kills.
I believe there was a little bit of a miscommunication with the uppercut on the Doomfist as well as with the Earth Shatter from what it looked like, but D.Va coming down and then also gonna be falling down to the point, gonna pick up a few kills right here. Doomfist showing up really big.
We saw it for a little bit, that combo right there, using the D.Va Bomb to turn the shield and get everyone from Arlington grouped behind the shield, and then dropping in behind the shield with the Meteor Strike. That was a beautifully executed combo by Oklahoma University. Didn't get the kills they were looking for, but definitely helped them secure this point.
Now, depending on how spawns are going to play out, it looks like everybody will spawn accordingly for UT Arlington, so nobody will be overly staggered. But what did they spend in the previous fight to be able to try and retaliate against Oklahoma University? They've been showing how strong they are. As soon as that we went into Nepal in the last round, they're just showing such good teamwork and execution all around, but they're going really aggressively here. Sound barrier comes out.
Yeah, it looked like Arlington was trying to hold at the arch and Oklahoma was having none of it. They just speed right onto him, but so many support ults up for Arlington. They use the sound barrier, they use the coalescence. None of them are going down here, but there comes a grab. The sound barrier's already been used. So much damage going into that. Tommy goes down. Can they find more? But here comes a grab from the defense. Arlington trying to fight back desperately, but Dez has gone down as well. There goes Edakiri. There's no healing left for this defense. Meteor Strike comes down from Nihilist, and that's going to be it. Oklahoma going to keep on pushing this payload.
Neela's gonna have that ultimate up. It seems every single fight just doing so much damage as soon as you get that rocket punch off, and depending on the target that you hit, whether it's a forward kill or just getting so much damage even onto tanks, being able to knock Ryan down considering that he's gonna be charging towards you. It's good that you have something to kind of stabilize or neutralize that Reinhardt charge, not just your other Reinhardt versus their Reinhardt, but also the Doomfist to be able to come in for that.
And now as Arlington initiates here, we see the rally coming down. That's the advantage of having the Brig instead of the Doomfist. They can get those extra shields, but Tommy still goes down early. There goes Tomato Lord as well. They're already down 2. Arlington, Mech gets caught, make it down 3, and unfortunately, even with the advantage of having the rally, they still can't make up for the insane damage output that the Doomfist gives you.
Yeah, looking on the side of OU, Dr. Bane in the back, just looking so strong, being able to push up and do almost whatever he wants, being pocketed by Wumbo and also the Moira. So it's looking very strong for them. But with the amount of damage that they got up, you got to be knowing that they're going to have some ultimate coming into this next fight. And it was such a perfect reaction on their side, too. The Earthshatter came out, but Lucio's response to that to be able to block his team. Earthshatter finds nothing, though.
A great block by Tomato Lord as Dr. Baneling tries to come in with a shatter there. Neela's actually going to take down Farah on the Doomfist. The Diva Bomb takes down Tomato Lord as well. Itakiri trying desperately to stay alive in this grab. Neela's messing up the Meteor Strike combo, but finishes it off with a punch of Itakiri. And this fight has been all Wombologist and Neela's. Red filling the kill feed as Oklahoma proving their superiority right now. Tomato Lord coming out, trying to get a shatter down, but getting booped up, and Wombologist finding yet another kill. Poyito has that grab up. Is he going to be able to do anything with it? He's got to use it right now. Nihilist was so close to going down, but able to get it all back with that punch. There goes the sound barrier, and that grab is just not going to be enough damage.
The supports are showing up so big for OU to be able to respond to any sort of offensive pressure that Arlington is putting out. We see the sound barrier once again for the reaction, as well as the coalescence, but it looks like that they are probably going to be able to finish it off right here. So solid time from OU.
And we see that big shatter coming down from Dr. Baneling. Tomato Lord was alive on the point, and it looked like he might have been able to survive a lot longer, but he just gets knocked straight to the ground.
Yeah, it looked like that UTA was finding a little bit of their footing as the map would go on, but in the end, still putting up over 3 minutes, 3:15 on the clock to be able to wrap up all 3 points. So that's very solid job for OU. We'll see what the attack is going to entail as we get ready to see UTA push forward.
Yeah, I'm really interested, and I'm also surprised and a little disappointed that both teams were still running goats. I mean, obviously, we did see Neelis on the Doomfist instead of what we usually see. It looks like we're going to need a pause.
Yeah, player having a little bit of a problem. It's not going to be too long of an issue. So let's kind of recap a little bit over what we saw. So we saw a lot of the Doomfist with regards to opening people up, being in the back line, just having so much pressure that he can put onto the team to be able to just cause so much disruption. He's taking out DPS targets, taking out people like the Zarya in the back line to be able to move him away from the team and move her away from the team rather, and be able to just cause so much disruption. It's great in the way that they're playing and just enabling them. As mentioned though, the support ultimates, this is exactly how you think that you should play Overwatch for the support role anyways. Having those Lucio sound barriers come out at the most optimal times as you think maybe the Rocket Barrage is going to finally do something, or maybe somebody's going to make something happen with the Shatter. Seeing the Shatter come out and OU getting hit with that, but then you had sound barrier to cover that, and then you even had the Moira Orb kind of going with the rest of the team to be able to heal you up. You're not going to break through that unless you're able to have something like a Deadeye or an insta-kill.
And I do want to point out, there was a fight where the Lucio used Sound Barrier and they used Coalescence at the same time. And then, as soon as Sound Barrier wore off, the Grav comes out from this offense, from this Oklahoma offense. And I just got to wonder, where is the alt calling? How do they, how do they not realize that they're using both support ults and that the graviton is up. Like, they need to save one of those.
Yeah, ideally you want to. That's the one, I guess, blemish on this map that I can really see. Overall, it was still a very pretty game from them in the same way that Nepal was. So I'll give them a little bit of space there to use 2 ultimates at once. But overall, I mean, you can't argue with the time that they've been able to put up and everything. But UTA, how can they probably fight back and swing things more in their favor? It looks like that they're struggling a good bit with the Doomfist.
I think you hit it right on the head. They're struggling so much with the Doomfist. Even when the Doomfist doesn't do a lot in the fight, it's because they're spending so much energy trying to not die to the Doomfist that the rest of the team has so much space to do whatever they want. I really think they need to figure out some way to try and disable this Doomfist, try and just get back into this game.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see something that we maybe haven't seen in a little bit. I don't think a Bastion would be the answer to that. Doomfist is going to be able to, of course, get far in the back line to be able to disrupt them a good bit, especially if you're going to be on the side of offense. The positioning for that's going to be so awkward for UTA. May would be very questionable as well, but might be good for the charges and for the rocket punch to try and disrupt them a good bit. Maybe cut off somebody since you're going to have people diving on. That looks like we are going to have a Pharah to lead off.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I like this comp. I like this comp coming out from Arlington because I think it's designed exactly to do what they need to do right now. So they're pushing onto Oklahoma. They're pushing them into this corner here by Archway, which gives them the opportunity to really push onto this point and take more space. Force Oklahoma out into open space where they don't want to fight because Oklahoma is playing that close range damage comp. They were expecting Ghost to come back into him, and here comes this engagement. A big anti from Tommy, but Dr. Bainley going to find the first kill onto Tomato Lord, and Nihilist in there finding a kill onto Itakiri as well. Looking for more, but unable to find it at the moment.
Their patience is so good. This is the way that you need to rotate in order to counter the offense of UTA. As they push forward, they kept backing up, giving them space, and trying to just wait for the opportune moment to be able to jump on them. They were very patient, and eventually they just pulled the trigger, and then they ended up winning the fight. So gonna have some ultimates up as UTA will be trying to find an opening of their own with some ultimates, but we'll see how that plays out. The shield is getting a bit low. You can see that by the crats as Doomfist is trying to see what he can make happen. Oh my god.
Here comes the nano onto Tomato Lord in the backline. Meanwhile, Nihilist looking for some more blood here, but unable to really connect with anything right now. It doesn't really matter though, because they invested that nano onto Tomato Lord and they didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, this is a really interesting position for the side of UTA for where they're at. You're going to have the Pharah, and it seems possibly the Mercy staggered, able to get her out, so that's going to be really good from them, but just overstepping their boundaries there, knowing that the rest of the team was dead, so that will eat into their time. They're going to have coming up on 2 minutes left to try and crack open this defense of Oklahoma, but Oklahoma doesn't look like they're giving anything to them.
And I think the hack going to go down there onto the Diva, opening this space for Poyito to do that barrage. That was a good combo. It's just they couldn't find the right positioning because they were able to just back around that corner there and avoid the barrage damage entirely. Here comes the rally from this defense as Oklahoma re-engages on this point, but Poyito took down Moira. There's no Moira heals for this defense. Arlington should be able to push this advantage, but Wambala just able to bring it back thanks to that rally armor.
Yeah, good utilization of the support ultimates, and Ultra going to fall in the back once more. This Doomfist actually gets hacked. We'll see how much trouble he's actually in. Probably going to be able to make it out with the support of his team. Zarya is pushing up.
Able to get that Zarya bubble, as you mentioned, the support of his team, and then that allows him to stay alive long enough for the hack to wear off and to get out.
Yeah, they're just looking so solid. The Pharah is very respectable to be able to get up in the face of Oklahoma, especially how we saw the rocket barrage in the last fight, which broke the shield entirely because it does so much damage and there was no reaction from the Diva there. But considering that you weren't able to make anything happen with the Sombra, not able to have the Ryan, that's going to be a big problem.
And a big Diva bomb from Falcatraz finds 3, kills Poyito with the remake, and Nihilist finishing off Dez with that Meteor Strike. But I gotta say, look at Oklahoma, they just used 4 ults in that fight.
Yeah, they definitely did. So we'll see if that's going to come back and bite them. as we get into one of the last fights, going to be in the final 20 seconds of the fight. That UTA is going to try to find an opening and finally get some percentage on the board. It's going to be so hard from them. What can they actually do here? They do get the hack on the Rhine, though.
Yeah, they get the hack onto Dr. Baneling, and that's huge. Both teams pulling out a grab right now. Nihilus is caught in the grab for Oklahoma, and again, Oklahoma manages to find the damage they need to finish things off.
The thing here, considering that they're able to finish this up, and it looks like they are just going to need to wrap it up on the point. Ultra Poito actually ended up getting killed by the Moira before he could combo with the grab. Oh, here it comes!
He's able to find one, but is all on his own. Can't find anything else. The rally coming out, just icing on top of the cake for Oklahoma. And this should be a fast 2-0 for them to get to the finals.
Yeah, that was a solid job from them, being able to basically shut out UTA, going 100-0 on Nepal, and then Kings Road gonna do a full hold and take it on offense 3-0. So I'm sure that we're probably gonna see that self-destruct from Caps here.
This is good. We didn't get a chance to see this angle before, so we got to see where this Diva Bomb lands.
Oh,
right in the center there, and then catching the Farah in that room. I was wondering how he managed to pull off that mech kill.
That was definitely something to, that was insanely impressive. Being able to realize exactly where Farah was, understanding that she needed to run away, and then chase her down in the small form, and then just have that mech crash down on her. So solid job for them to be able to go up 2-0. And so teams are going to swap on the stage. We're going to eventually get over to Tech versus UNT for the other semifinals. So good job for OU to be able to take it over UTA 2-0. They will be in the finals as we're going to get over to the semifinals after a short break, and we will see who's going to advance from Texas Tech versus UNT.